Hey guys, my name is Mike Sanford. I'm a coach here at Alan Belcher MMA Club. I teach some of the advanced grappling classes and mixed martial arts classes. Today I'm going to go over with you one of my favorite techniques and one of the most important techniques in all of fighting. This is the rear naked choke. The rear naked choke is the #1 submission in existence for a good reason. When I'm on somebody's back and I'm going for rear naked chokes, it's super low risk and super high reward, and I don't use much energy going for it. Alright, so there's a lot of things going for this submission that other submissions don't have. Now with the rear naked choke, it's really important that I have control of my opponent's back. That's the key to this. If I don't have control of my opponent's back and I'm just trying to grab chokes and stuff like that, you're going to get thrown off really easily. If I'm falling off their back or if I'm just trying to grab it randomly, you're never going to finish it, even if the opponent's not well trained. If they're well trained, it's impossible. So it's really important that I establish control first. And we're not going to be going over that in this video. In another video, we're going to go over like how to get the back and how to stay on the back, some of my favorite control positions. But for today, I want to focus on the details that make the choke work, and also how to troubleshoot when somebody tries to defend it and get out of it. And there's a lot more to it than most people think. A lot of people, they'll kind of grab a rear naked choke and think that they know how to do it, but it won't work that well. And the reason being is a lot of little details that you can't really see just by watching it on TV. So today we're going to kind of focus on how to kill all the space in a rear naked choke, how to effectively squeeze without burning yourself out, and also how to troubleshoot when they try to defend it. Okay, so we're going to learn the details that make the choke work and how to stop people when they try to defend it and get out of it. All right, guys, now for the rear naked choke, I want to be attached to my opponent's back. The rear naked choke starts with my seatbelt grip. My seatbelt grip is going to be one arm over his shoulder and one arm under his opposite arm. So now I'm here, over, under grip. Now, a lot of different ways to grip your hands together with hand grips. I could use any kind of hand grip I want to be strong, but for the rear naked choke, there's one really specific one I always use. Okay, and that's going to be to hide my choking hand. I never want him to grab the back of my hand that I'm going to choke him with. So whatever arm's over his shoulder, that's going to be my choking hand. I don't want him grabbing the back of that, okay? So with a gable grip or with an S grip or something like that, you can grab the back of my hand. It makes it really hard to get the choke. So I always like to make a little tiger palm here, and then I cover up the back of my hand. Now he can't grab it. And I kind of hide it in his armpit a little bit too. If he grabs my wrist, I'm fine with that. If he grabs my other hand, awesome. Big mistake on his part. I just slide right up into the choke. All right, so this is where it all starts. Then I keep my elbows tight, and I glue my chest to his back with my head level with his head. I want my chin over his shoulder. I don't want to be like this, way up here. A lot of people make this mistake. I can't get a good choke here. I got a terrible angle. All right, same thing if I'm like too low trying to choke up. He's putting his weight on me, and I'm way low here. I can't really choke him good. So I want to make sure I got my seatbelt grip tight, elbows tight, squeezing my chest to his back. I've got my hooks in, and I'm covering up my choking hand with my chin right over his shoulder, ear to ear. Okay, guys? This is my position to get the choke. Now, if we go to the side, if he goes this way, I don't want to be here. All right, this is gravity helping him. I have to keep my head between his head and the ground here. Notice how he's lying on top of my underarm, not my overarm. I want him to go to the other side, if anything. So if we fall to the side, I want to fall this way. All right? Here, I've got a lot of control, and he's lying on the choke. He's falling right into the choke. I can really easily get the choke here, and my head controls him really easily. Okay, you can't escape there easily at all. So if we do fall one way or the other, I want to be on that side, with him falling into the choke, not falling out of the choke. Now, as we're setting the choke up, it's really important, again, that I keep this hand covered. So my hand's covered up, and now when I go into the choke, I can do it a couple different ways, depending on what he's doing. A lot of times, he's trying to grab my wrists. If he's smart, he wants to grab my hands and open them up and try to get out. When he does this, that's fine. What I'm going to do is control his hand here. I'm going to push it down. Okay, I like to grab right on the back of his hand as much as possible. Push it down, and my other hand, that's going to choke him, is going to go up to his shoulder. And I'm going to start crawling my fingers to the back of his neck. Crawl my fingers to the back of his neck. Now, I've got a great position to lock the choke in. Okay, so again, I'm here. If he starts grabbing my hand, sometimes he'll even grab my hand that's on top. If he does that, easy. I just, boom, go down and come up. Crawl my fingers to the back of his neck. Now I'm in a great position to lock up. Now from here, all I got to do is get this hand. A lot of times here, he realizes he made the mistake. He'll reach up for my other hand. I just go right to the lock. If he doesn't, if he tries to hold on to this one, I can use my knee to help open up his elbow and get out, or I can just circle my wrist out, fight free, and then go right to here. Now, when I'm sliding the choke in, it's really important I pay attention to these details, all right? Now, a lot of people will do the choke and they'll kind of just go like this and squeeze or try to push his head into it, and they're not thinking about getting rid of all the space here. If you notice here, if I do something like this, I'm fighting myself, first of all. I'm not getting all the power that I could have, and I'm keeping lots of space in there. The key to the rear naked choke, the reason that this guy gets choked out is because on his neck here, he's got two arteries, the carotid arteries, which I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with. Carotid arteries carry all the oxygen to his brain, okay? Once I cut that oxygen flow off to his brain's going to go, oh no, I got to shut down, reserve everything, or else it's like a computer. Kind of like if you take a computer and you unplug it, what's going to happen? The computer's going to freak out. It's going to shut down to conserve with whatever energy it's got left. It's going to shut down and restart when you plug it back in. Same thing here. I cut off that oxygen flow. He's going to either tap or his brain's going to have to shut down and restart when I let go. Okay, so I'm here. Again, I'm going to get that shoulder, walk my fingers up to the back of the neck. I'm holding his hand down. I slide this up, and now from here, I want to slide my hand. You can grab your hands together, gable grip here too, but I like to slide my hand. I take my free hand, the locking hand. This is going to be my choking arm. This is my locking arm. The locking arm is the one that really puts that choking arm in place. And what I like to do is I like to cover my choking hand with my locking hand, just like that, and make a little X. Once I've got the back of my choking hand covered in my locking hand, I'm going to slide it like a knife right behind his neck. Boom, right behind his neck. Not behind his head, not on top of his head, but behind his neck. Okay, and I keep it turned back of my hand towards the back of his head. I don't like to grab the back of his head with my palm like some people do, okay? It takes away a little bit of my angle and it makes a little extra space. So I keep the back of my hand on the back of his neck here, okay? I kind of like slice into it like a karate chop. Now I'm here. See my elbows? They're kind of far. If the guy's got a skinnier neck, I need to adjust it. If the guy's got a big neck, sometimes you don't have to adjust it. Most of the time, I'm going to adjust because I have long arms anyway. So from here, what I need to do now is adjust my elbows together. Okay? If I just squeeze here, even with my hand in the right spot and everything like that, I might tap him, but look at how long this takes. Look at this. Man, I was squeezing pretty hard too. It took him like 10 seconds to tap. I can't do that. I want to put this guy to sleep fast, all right? So if I want to get him to sleep fast, I got to get rid of all that space in there. So right now, once I've got this position here, it's very important that I adjust my elbows together. Look at my elbows, all right? I'm going to adjust them like a wrench, okay? If you got a wrench and you're trying to wrench out a bolt, you got to adjust the wrench to the bolt. If I just try to wrench out a bolt at the wrong size, it's going to scrape and strip and it's not going to work right. So I need to adjust right here. I'm going to adjust my elbows together and fit to his neck. So watch this. Look at my elbows. See them going together here? Elbows together. See, I'm almost grabbing my other shoulder. That's fine, all right? I just want to get rid of all that space right here on his carotid arteries. That's what I got to cut off. If there's space there, he's not going to go to sleep, at least not fast. So I'm here, getting rid of all that space. Now, I've got all that space out of there. My chin goes in the right spot. My chin's going to go right on top of the lock here, okay? This way you can't pull that out from behind his head. So I'm here tight, ear to ear, and I'm getting a little extra pressure out of that. Now, once I've got all this in place, elbows together, I'm on his neck, everything's correct, my chin's in the right spot, my head's in tight. Now I'm going to take a deep breath. And what that's going to do is going to put oxygen in my lungs, first of all, but it's also going to expand my lungs, which makes my lungs bigger, and it's going to get rid of even more space. So I'm here, I take a deep breath as I squeeze, and when I squeeze, I'm squeezing kind of like I'm doing a big hug, but I'm really focusing on using my deltoids, kind of like you're doing a row, okay? And I keep that choke locked in, elbows tight together, and then I do a row as I squeeze. And I take a deep breath while I'm doing all that, okay? When you do this correctly, with your grip adjusted to your opponent's neck, he's gonna tap very fast. Before it took about, maybe like 6-7 seconds for him to tap. Watch this, this is gonna be much faster. I'm here, it's almost immediate, okay? Not only am I cutting that blood flow off completely, but I'm also digging into his windpipe and it's painful too, okay? So it's a very, very strong choke. Even though his windpipe's lined up with my elbow, I got so much space out of there that it's still gonna be tight and it's still gonna be crushing, all right? I'm actually crushing his windpipe a little bit with this here, okay? So I'm here, getting off both arteries, getting nice and tight, head in tight, and then I squeeze for the very fast finish. Okay guys, and look forward to the next video. We're going to go over how to counter some of the escapes to the rear naked choke. But if you have any questions on anything, feel free to reply to the blog below. You can message me personally, you can email, or feel free to come down to the school if you live in the area. I teach every day, 7 days a week at Alan Belcher MMA Club in Biloxi. And if you live in that lower Gulf Coast area of Mississippi, feel free to stop in sometime. You can ask me a question in person. I'd be happy to help you if I can. And we can get you on the free trial too. There's a 30-day free trial here.